Do you regret spending all that time in college now?
No, actually I don't, because just coming back to this has just been a whole new fresh air.
Does everybody feel like
really
they wouldn't
exciting.
have appreciated it?
Let me just say
if you
something.
hadn't had the break?
Yeah, I gotta just something happened when he went to college. Because this guy came back all organized. You know, this is not the Matt Camacho that I played with back in those days.
It was like I was going to take a little break and get together with these guys and play music. And when we got on a tour bus together, and we're sitting there backstage hanging out, it just clicked. The whole family vibe came back together, and I'm really excited about writing the new record now and doing this on a regular basis.
This guy's actually writing. He's the first one who came home and said, I wrote a bunch of stuff, man. You know, he showed it to me. I like a lot of it. We got some beginnings. Nothing's like, no song titles, nothing like that. It's going to happen quick. There's a label. Everybody wants us to be on a label now. It's a beautiful situation because that could actually happen. We could actually say right now, let's go, hey guys, can we go to your label? And they'd go, yeah, that's great. You're going to get X amount. And it's, the point is that we have to feel like we've written something, so we don't have that extra pressure of like it has to be what they think it's going to be. Because I think it's going to turn into something different than we expect. If it was by the numbers, I don't think that would be any good. I want to see what this album turns out to be. We all feel confident that we could write it, so I think it's only going to raise our overall credibility to have this stuff written first.
With everybody being so busy, I mean, is there just no timetable, or are you thinking spring?
We'd like to have the album written and done by next summer, at least written and hopefully recording by summer. That'd be nice. But summer's also touring season, so this little cycle of the way things roll, you can't rush it. It would be that's why it would be a bad idea to be signed to a label, because they'd be breathing down your back saying you only need 8 songs and just hurry up. And we want to write a bunch of music.
So
the music's got to be really good.
Yeah, it does.
Is this album going to be all new music from Ground Zero, or is there anything floating around from Old Forbidden that never got used that somebody's kind of plucking?
Possibly.
It'll be mostly new music. There's always some floaters. There's riffs that like Glenn has and that I've had for years that might just pop up, and then
that didn't already get used in the 18,000 other bands you've all been in.
No, I wouldn't use anything else I've used in any other band. There's nothing else in any band I played in that sounds like Forbidden. It's Forbidden in those other bands, which are all completely different.
So you guys did a couple reunion shows with Death Angel, and that was really kind of like the first Bay Area homecoming for Forbidden after, obviously the Chuck Billy concert. So what were those 2 shows like before you went to Europe?
Oh, actually we did 5. We did the 2 Bay Area shows, but we decided to get our feet wet and do 3 little outskirts shows. We would, what was that first place we went to? Chico and the Man. We went all the way out to Chico.
Chico, Modesto, and then Livermore.
Best idea we ever had.
That was fun.
Yeah. Livermore was great. For people who don't know, there was a jumpy house.
For our kids.
And everybody's kids came out, and you guys had whose birthday was it? It was your son's. That's right, because you gave him a guitar on stage.
I did. That was awesome.
That was really cool.
Now, the next show...
He looked like he thought you were just going to let him play it. And then you're like, no, that's yours. And he just went...
All the fans are all, let him play, plug it in. My other son's birthday is the day after we play Slim's.
Perfect.
So I have to have
Will there be a jumpy house at Slim's?
No jumpy house, but probably.
Jumpy house at Slim's. There'll be a first.
Slim's is all ages.
It is. I'm bringing my son.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I want him to come. He went to the Livermore show, obviously, but Slim's is going to be different. And to go back to what you're saying about the 2 Slim's gigs, those blew our minds and bleeped me out. But they really did. Everybody told me, Rob told me from Death Angel, dude, wait till you see what it's like. When you actually play in front of that hungry crowd that hasn't seen you play in that long. So you might just actually have second thoughts. And he was right. I mean, I was like, that was the show where I was taken back. And then the second show was even better. Those 2 shows were a lot of fun. The second show, for me, I thought the band was better. It was pretty on the money.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I kind of got a sense that you guys were going into those shows with something to prove.
Yeah. Of course.
Like with all that went on in the Bay Area, like kind of a culmination of like the last couple of decades, and
well, how many times did Forbidden open for Death Angel? Right. So there's that competitiveness. So I think there was a whole lot for me to prove in that aspect.
Those guys, let me just say,
they've been together forever.
They are the most chemistry-filled best band the Bay Area has to offer in a live situation. And we used to tour them all the time. DA was like, we were like this, there's all the other bands and there's us and Death Angel through that period of time. we were really like their other cousins. They're cracker cousins.
That was great about the Bay Area because we would open up for Testament or play with Testament and Death Angel and Violence, and there was that rivalry. Sometimes really friendly, sometimes
Sometimes just
little things
rivalry.
going on. Yeah, sometimes just rivalry, but it kind of pushed us and
Did you ever
and
pull down
made
somebody else's flyer?
and made things going on. But, I gotta say,
I know people who did.
That
I'm not a flyer puller. Sorry.
Your karma's clean.
that the stories were
that's what karma is.
talked about. I had people coming up to me in Denmark that were from Sweden saying, "Is it true that Paul Bailoff used to beat up posers and Violence used to not like you guys?" Or like, I mean, it was like
that part's true.
whoa, it was like the
That
rumors
part's true.
got around. I was
Violence
all,
didn't like
whoa.
us at all.
No,
That was part of the good stuff.
Yeah,
though.
what I'm saying, it was like they heard the stories all the way on the other side of the world, so it was kind of funny that little.
That happened
rivalry
on
in
this
the Bay
last
Area.
tour? People were
on
asking
this
you
last
that?
tour, people were asking me like they knew stuff.
People are
that
asking
I
you
was
now
all,
about 20-year-old
Yep.
gossip
Yep.
from the Bay Area.
Yeah, they're like
on the other side of the
they're
world.
about 22 years old too.
Younger. No, there's kids, 17,
There's
16
a
years
lot
old.
of young people into this band.
It was just like that was another thing about us that really got me excited about getting together was just what kind of influence this band and the Bay Area bands have set around on the other side of the world. I was like, whoa, like they just knew all about us and knew about our music and all these stories. I was all, what a trip. So
Better play good.
you know.
Yeah, you better.
Oh man,
You better play good.
I'm gonna start
Better not
practicing now.
suck.
Yep. I
Well,
know.
there's a reason why bands like ours and Exodus and Testament and forgive me, Death Angel and Heathen and everybody, we can do this right now, and it's not just because it's cool to do it. It's because new metal and old metal, the crossover, it's becoming obvious what the old records had that the new ones have a hard time replacing, you know. And the kids just dig it up, and they're like, for some reason, it doesn't sound as good or as loud or as tight a production or whatever it is. They just like it. And it's because we were just out on a high wire, walking with no net, and that's the way we all did it back then. There was no fix-its, you know, we're just jamming. So that's why I think a lot of people like all the old metal, because it's just real.
Yeah, we never did
All the
Pro
sloppiness.
Tools or anything when we were recording. It was all straight
Punch in.
recording. Yeah, that's the only thing we did do is punch in. You know, there was no Pro Tools or anything. So
We just did it straight.
yeah. What you hear
We
is
only
what's
did it
gay.
straight, yeah. Bunch of homophobes. Just kidding. Just kidding.
So how does it feel going to Slim's on next Saturday, and having
Friday.
Friday. Sorry, Friday.
Edit.
Friday the 12th.
Be there.
Friday, September 12th at Slim's.
Friday.
How does it feel to go in there with you guys, and now Chaos just got added to the bill, right?
Right.
And then Hatchet. So you've got an opening band and half the audience that are almost literally half your age.
It's great. It's great. Hey, look.
Literally, they could be our
When
kids.
it came
They could be our kids.
Some of them will be your kids.
when it came down to bands we were even talking about for it, I've wanted to play with Hatchet for a while because that band is just like, man, they remind me so much of us. More us than a lot of the Bay Area bands. They're very melodic and they just, you know, it's very metal and they just fly it, man. And I always like those guys. Their spirit. I think there's a great album in them somewhere down the line. There's a good one out now, but I think they could write a good album that's really, really good. And plus those guys will go crazy and they'll fly her more than anybody else. They'll do what we used to do. We used to hit every party and bang, 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 you know. They'll do that. Yeah, they earn it.
They know where the parties are.
And
They're
Chaos,
young enough.
Chaos is the same thing. Chaos has been around as long as we've been around, really, and they've always been the one band that still consistently hands out flyers everywhere. I'll be honest, I'm not pounding pavement handing out flyers at all the gigs anymore. Back in the day, I did it, you know.
Yeah, we did our share of that.
We busted every show.
We were all there.
You feel like